just said I want to pee.
You should.
You have time.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much for coming to the sharing, work in progress sharing of my performance Shelters Indirect Strike. My name is Andriy and this is Masha, who is supporting me today and also performing with me. Before we start, I would like to make a couple of important notes about the space. First, you can see the map behind me. This is a map of Ukraine from the website where you can see air raid alerts happening in the country real time. If you see that some regions are marked with red, it means that air raid alert is happening there right now. If they are gray, it means that it is calm in this region. Second note is that my phone connected to this map as well through the special app, which is sending me notifications about air raid alerts in 6 regions of Ukraine, which I chose myself and which are connected to me personally. First region is Kyivska region. It's located, if this mic is the center of Ukraine, it's located a little bit higher. This is the region where Kyiv city is located, where I was living for a while, where I have a lot of acquaintances and friends, and which left a lot of memories in me. Second region is Chernihivska region. So if this mic is Kyivska region, Chernihivska will be even more to the north. Chernihivska region is a region where all my mom's family coming from. And I have still a lot of relatives there. I have my grandaunt there, my cousins. To be honest, I do not know them well. I even don't remember their faces and names, because last time when I saw them, it was when I was a child. But I know that my mom in contact with them all the time, and I do not know why, but every time when I call my mom, I ask her how they are. Third region is Kharkivska region. So if this mic is the center of Ukraine, this region is more to the east. And Kharkivska region is a region where Kharkiv city is located. And this is the first big city which I saw when I was a child, when I traveled there. And I still have a lot of acquaintances there, for example, Maxim Tilezhny, my friend, who I know from breakdance community to which I belonged, and who is now doing a lot of volunteer work, helping people to rebuild their houses, evacuate, providing food aid. Fourth and fifth regions are Donetska and Luganska regions. These are regions on very east of Ukraine, and these are regions where all my family is coming from. I still have my grandma there, my aunt there, my cousins there, and I was going there every summer when I was a child. And the last region is Crimea, is the very, very south of Ukraine, and this is the region where I'm from, and where I was living first 18 years of my life. We will receive notifications only from 4 regions, because 2 of them, Luhanska and Crimea, are occupied for a while already by Russia, and Ukraine does not have information from there about air raid alerts. So on the map they are always red. Notifications can be quite loud, so if you hear them, please don't panic, be calm. It is happening not here, it is happening in Ukraine. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show. I'm Ukrainian, and since February 2022, I'm constantly living in the context of ongoing war in my country. Important note that when Russia started full-scale invasion, I was not in Ukraine anymore, fortunately. I was studying at the dance program in Spain, so I do not have the same experience or trauma as people who had to escape the country under drones and missiles. I'm not saying it to devaluate my own experience or overprotect someone, but just to be transparent about guilt I have. Although I wasn't in the country in February 2022, I still have my parents in Ukraine, my relatives, acquaintances. I do not have my close friends in Ukraine. All of them left the country already and now based in Europe. Although one friend of mine wants to come back to Kyiv soon, and I worry about it, not gonna lie, especially because he is male and Ukrainian army can be very much interested in him. The idea of this performance appeared last fall when I was coming to the studio weekly, experiencing severe depressive episode, and usually I wasn't dancing in the studio and I wasn't working on any project in the studio.
I was doing nothing basically. I was just coming, laying on the floor, playing some mobile games.
While being in the studio, I could take different positions on the floor. Sometimes I was laying on my belly, using my elbows as a support for my shoulders and hanging head. Sometimes I was just laying like this, sometimes I had phone in my hands. Very often I was taking positions which would stretch my body or twist my spine, because my vertebrae are very movable and I need to stretch it more so I don't have pain. Sometimes I was shrinking on the floor as a ball, trying to bring my arms and legs as close to the center of my body as possible. Sometimes I was laying next to the studio wall, touching it with my back and using it as a support for my body. Once I fell asleep in the studio laying face down with my arms and legs just stretched. I woke up after 2 hours. My nose and forehead were in pain and I was laughing a bit, thinking how weird it would look if someone would come in while I'm in this position sleeping.
In one moment, I understood that studio became some kind of shelter for me. It became a place of refuge where I could hide from the work context with which I had encounters, and I still have encounters every day in social media, in conversations with my friends, parents, even with myself. Here I could be alone, in silence, laying on the floor in very spacious room, just enjoying the light coming through the huge windows and birds singing outside. When word shelters came to my mind, I started to think about it more. And I was trying to imagine, can studio be not only emotional shelter for me, but also a physical shelter? Can studio actually protect me in case of airstrike, for example? Can studio protect me from KH-101 cruise missile, which can carry 400 kilograms conventional or thermonuclear warhead and has operational capacity of 3,500 kilometers? It is an approximate distance from here to Russian city Chelyabinsk, and rocket launched there in theory can reach Berlin. Can Studio protect me from Shahed-type strike drone, which can carry about 90 kilograms warhead and can overcome distance about 1,000 kilometers. So, for example, if Russia would take over the western part of Ukraine, they could launch these drones from Ukrainian territory and it could reach Berlin in about 4 hours. Can Studio protect me from Iskander-M ballistic missiles, which can carry warheads about 700 kilograms and can operate in range about 500 kilometers. So if it would be launched somewhere from suburbs of Warsaw, it can reach Berlin in about 4 minutes. And if Studio cannot protect me, can I try to reinforce the space to make it more safe?
I started from investigating the room and the building. For example, looking at the building roof, which is industrial, but which is quite weak and needs renovation. So it would barely protect me from anything. Also, all those constructions at the ceiling, such rigs and lights, which can fall in case of even minor blast. I was thinking about walls of the studio. In the front of you and behind you are huge windows which would be very dangerous in case of air raid attack, because shards would be scattered around all the room, damaging everyone who would be inside. That's why I was thinking, can I, for example, close those windows with theater curtains and fix them with some industrial tape so it can stop shards. I was thinking about walls itself. Walls in the front of you and behind you are made from industrial brick, which is quite sturdy. But because of windows, these walls become very dangerous to be next to. And also because there are outside walls. Left and right walls of the studio are made of plasterboard, and they have fireproof and soundproof panels inside them. And although they are much weaker than outside walls, I think if I would hide here, it is much more reasonable to be next to the side wall because it has no window in it. Specifically near the right wall of the studio, because it is closer to the exit. Tribunes in the Studio 8 made out of platforms, and each of them can hold 700 kilograms if it's spread around the surface. So maybe it would be a good decision to hide under them. Also, I was thinking about how to place my body in the studio so it can be safer? Will it be safer if I will shrink as a ball under the tribunes? Or fallen roof would bury me and I would suffocate? Would it be safer if I would be next to the studio wall using it as a support? Or bricks from the ceiling would fall down, crushing my ribs and penetrating my liver? Would it be safer if I would lay face down on the floor, closing my head with my hands? Or I would be just buried under the debris? I was thinking about location of the Ufer studios as well. Right, if you go to the left from the exit, you can find entrance to the tunnels under the Ufer studios, which local services use to check the pipes in the building. Probably I could hide there, but this entrance is normally always closed. Ufer Studios also has a cellar, but it is not in this building, but in another one. So I would need to run there, and also this cellar is not made for hiding during the air raid attack. So in case of direct strike, I would have a big risk to be buried inside or even being cooked alive if rocket would strike right next to the cellar. I could run to the subway station, but to reach Bankstraße subway station or Osloerstraße, you need at least 5-7 minutes, which can cost your life. And you can think maybe somewhere, not so far, is old Nazi bunkers maybe, old Nazi shelters. But the closest shelter to here is at the Gesundbrunnenstraße and train station. And after some research, you can understand that this bunker is not a bunker really. And the thought and idea that it is safe was more implemented by Nazi propaganda. And in case of direct strike, all people inside would be buried, even by the standards of World War II. And I cannot even imagine how dangerous it is to hide there in conditions of modern warfare. And in about 1.5 kilometers from here, or 20 minutes walking, is a old fabric which is owned by Rheinmetall company, which is known for making weapons in Germany. And I do not have real proofs, but there are a lot of talks about that they want to rearrange this factory for military production, for making weapons, ammunition, which would make Wedding a legit aim for airstrike in case of war.
While researching about the concept of shelters, getting to know this space more, reading WHO guidelines about how you need to behave yourself during the air raid. I was also talking to people. In total, I took 8 interviews with people from countries which are in a military conflict right now.
I decided to leave in the space today only 3 of them, which are connected directly to the war in my country. All of the people who were given them are women of different age. All of them are artists. All of them currently based in Berlin.
You can see 2 chairs next to the right wall of the studio, 2 chairs in the middle of the studio, and white table in the left part of the studio. On those chairs are texts related to the interviews which happened right here in the UFO Studio 8, and on the table is a text related to the interview which I took outside of the studio. These texts are excerpts from my personal diaries, which I was writing after each interview.
Right now, I would like to invite you to the space in 2 groups to go through those texts. First, I would like to invite to the space people who are sitting in the first and second row on the tribunes. While you are in the space, people who are in the third and fourth row can stay on their places and wait for their turn. When first group is done with reading, I would ask you to place yourself next to the left wall of the studio. I will show places with texts one more time again. It is this white table, those 2 chairs in the middle, and those 2 chairs in the right part of the studio. You can go in any order, it is your choice. You can go in if you want. can sit on the floor if you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right now, second group can enter the space. From May 23rd, when I started to work with an air raid alarms app, I started to document time of all of the alarms happening in those 6 regions which I told you before about. I was putting them on the timeline in the logic and order of how they were happening, letting them overlap when they were happening simultaneously. Today, partly, from May 23rd until June 2nd, this documentation will be present on the 50 meters long paper. I would write more, but 50 meters could fit only 10 days, and I did not have budget for more paper. Partly, from June 6 until June 13, this documentation will be present today in the form of the audio recording. I recorded more, but the showing has certain time frame, which I cannot violate too much. June 6th. From 6:08 Kyiv time, 5:08 Berlin time, until 6:57 Kyiv time, 5:57 Berlin time, 49 minutes in total. From 6:42 Kyiv time, 5:42 Berlin time, until 6:57 Kyiv time, 5:57 Berlin time, 14 minutes in total. From 10:33 Kyiv time, 9:33 Berlin time, until 13:12 Kyiv time. From 10:39 Kyiv time, Berlin time, 9:39 Berlin time, until 12:15 Kyiv time, 11:15 Berlin time, 1 hour 35 minutes in total. From 12:40 Kyiv time, 11:40 Berlin time, until 13:40 Kyiv time, 12:40 Berlin time, 59 minutes in total. From 14:11 Kyiv time, 13:11 Berlin time, until 14:37 Kyiv time, 13:37 Berlin time, 26 minutes in total. From 14:50 Kyiv time, 13:50 Berlin time, until 19:44 Kyiv time, 18:44 Berlin time, 4 hours 53 minutes in total. From 15:09 Kyiv time, 14:09 Berlin time, until 16:05 Kyiv time, 15:05 Berlin time, 56 minutes. From 16:31 Kyiv time, 15:31 Berlin time, until 17:05 Kyiv time, 16:05 Berlin time, 33 minutes in total. From 18:18 Kyiv time, 17:18 Berlin time, until 19:44 Kyiv time, 18:44 Berlin time, 1 hour 26 minutes in total. From 19:53 Kyiv time, 18:53 Berlin time, until 20:50 Kyiv time, 19:50 Berlin time, 58 minutes in total. From 21:37 Kyiv time, 20:37 Berlin time, until 21:42 Kyiv time, 20:42 Berlin time, 4 minutes in total. From 22:48 Kyiv time, 21:48 Berlin time, until 8:14 time, 7:12 Berlin time, 17 hours 00:31 Kyiv time, 23:31 Berlin time, until 1:48 Kyiv time, 00:48 Berlin time, 1 hour 16 minutes in total. From 2:42 Kyiv time, 1:42 Berlin time, until 3:18 1:43 Berlin time, 2:16 Berlin time, 36 minutes in total. 2:19 Berlin time, 36 minutes in total. From 4:03 Kyiv time, 3:03 Berlin time, until 5:03 Kyiv time, 4:03 Berlin time, 58 minutes total. From 8:51 Kyiv time, 7:51 Berlin time, until 10:23 Kyiv time, 9:23 Berlin time, 1 hour 32 minutes in total. From 13:46 Kyiv time, 12:46 Berlin time, until 14:09 Kyiv time, 13:09 Berlin time, 22 minutes in total. From 14:44 Kyiv time, 13:44 Berlin time, until 15:12 Kyiv time, 14:12 Berlin time, 27 minutes in total. From 15:05 Kyiv time,
14:05
From
Berlin time
16:52
until
Kyiv time,
2022
15:52 Berlin time,
1922
until
Berlin time,
17:10
5
Kyiv
hours
time,
17 minutes in
16:10
total.
Berlin time, 17 minutes in total. From 17:26 Kyiv time, 16:26 Berlin time, until 17:48 Kyiv time, 16:48 Berlin time, 21 minutes in total. From 21:26 Kyiv time, 20:26 Berlin time, until 8:04 Kyiv time, 1:04 Berlin time, 4 hours 38 minutes in total. From 1:48 Kyiv time, 00:48 Berlin time, until 2:52 Kyiv time, 1:52 Berlin time, 1 hour 3 minutes in total.
From 2:47 Kyiv time, 1:47 Berlin
From
time,
4:00
until 7:55 Kyiv time,
3:00 Berlin
6:55
time,
Berlin time,
until 4:43
5 hours,
Kyiv
7
time,
minutes in total.
3:43 Berlin time, 43 minutes in total. From 8:59 Kyiv time, 7:59 Berlin time, until 11:08 Kyiv time, 10:08 Berlin time, and 2 hours 8 minutes in total.
time,
From 14:28 Kyiv time, 13:28 Berlin time, until 14:41 Kyiv time, 13:41 Berlin time, 13 minutes in total.
From 14:50 Kyiv time,
From 14:53
Berlin
Kyiv
time,
time,
until
13:53 Berlin time, until 15:36 Kyiv time,
4 hours in total.
14:36 Berlin time, 42 minutes in total. From 15:42 Kyiv time, 14:42 Berlin time, until 16:29 Kyiv time, 15:29 Berlin time, 46 minutes in total. From 20:08 Kyiv time, 19:08 Berlin time, until 7:57
From 2021
Kyiv
Kyiv
time,
time,
6:59
11 hours,
until
9:24
Kyiv time, 6:59 Berlin time, 11 hours 7 minutes Berlin time, 10 hours 34 minutes in total.
From 8:24 Kyiv time, 7:24 Berlin time, until 8:47 Kyiv time, 7:47 Berlin time, 23 minutes in total.
From 8:55 Kyiv time, 7:55 Berlin time, until 9:56 Berlin time, 8:31 Kyiv time, 35 minutes in total. Berlin time, 35 minutes in total. From 10:16 Kyiv time, 9:16 Berlin time, until 10:28 Kyiv time, 9:28 Berlin time, 11 minutes in total. From 21:09 Kyiv time, 20:09 Berlin time,
From 22:22
until 5:11 Kyiv time,
21:22
June
Berlin
10,
time,
until
11 hours,
5:11 Kyiv
47
time,
minutes in total.
4:11 Berlin time, 6 hours 48 minutes in total.
From 8:58 Kyiv time, 7:58 Berlin time, until 7:24 Kyiv time, 6:10 Berlin time.
From 8:39 Kyiv time, 7:39 Berlin time, until 9:31 Kyiv time, 8:31 Berlin time, 51 minutes in total. From 14:46 Kyiv time, 13:46 Berlin time, until 15:14 Kyiv time, 14:14 Berlin time, 27 minutes in total. From 9:46 Kyiv time, 8:46 Berlin time, until 13:22 Kyiv time, 12:22 Berlin time, 3 hours 36 minutes in total. From 17:11 Kyiv time, 16:11 Berlin time, until 18:25 Kyiv time, 16:24 Berlin time, 18:26 Kyiv time, 17:26 Berlin time, until 18:53 Kyiv time, 17:53 Berlin time, 27 minutes in total. From 20:00 Kyiv time, 19:00 Berlin time, until 20:52 Kyiv time, 19:52 Berlin time, 52 minutes in total. From 22:01 Kyiv time, 21:01 Berlin time, until 23:28 Kyiv time, 22:28 Berlin time, 26 minutes in total. From 23:02 Kyiv time, 22:02 Berlin time, until 23:45 Kyiv time, 22:45 Berlin time, 43 minutes in total. From 20:57 Kiev time, 19:57 Berlin time, until 17:11 Kiev time, 1:37 Berlin time, 5 hours 40 minutes in total. Kiev time, from 1:36 Kiev time, 00:56 minutes in total, until 2:02 Kiev time, 1:02 Berlin time, 25 minutes in total. From 2:14 Kiev time, 1:14 Berlin time, until 2:43 Kiev time, 1:43 Berlin time, until 7:11 Kiev time, 6:11 Berlin time, 4 hours 27 minutes in total. Kiev time, 4:14 Berlin time, until 6:11 Kiev time, 5:11 Berlin time, 57 minutes in total. From 21:49 Kiev time, 20:49 Berlin time, until 7:12 Kiev time, 6:12 Berlin time, 8 hours 22 minutes in total. From 9:28 Kiev time, 8:28 Berlin time, until 9:54 Kiev time, 8:54 Berlin time, 26 minutes in total. From 10:39 Kiev time, 9:39 Berlin time, until 11:15 Kiev time, 10:15 Berlin time, 36 minutes in total. From 13:03 Kiev time, 12:03 Berlin time, until 14:36 Kiev time, 13:36 Berlin time, 1 hour 33 minutes in total. From 14:19 Kiev time, 13:19 Berlin time, until 14:21 Kiev time, 13:12 Berlin time, 3 hours 59 minutes in total. From 14:20 Kiev time, 13:20 Berlin time, until 14:38 Kiev time, 13:38 Berlin time, 17 minutes in total. Until 15:44 Kiev time, 14:44 Berlin time, 50 minutes in total. From 16:48 Kiev time, 15:48 Berlin time, until 17:26 Kiev time, 16:26 Berlin time, 38 minutes in total. From 17:52 Kiev time, 16:52 Berlin time, until 18:11 Kiev time, 17:11 Berlin time, 21 minutes in total. From 18:43 Kiev time, 17:43 Berlin time, until 19:26 Kiev time, 18:26 Berlin time, 42 minutes in total. From 19:56 Kiev time, 18:56 Berlin time, until 20:23 Kiev time, 19:23 Berlin time, 26 minutes in total. From 20:25 Kiev time, 19:25 Berlin time, until 21:30 Kiev time, 20:30 Berlin time, 1 hour 5 minutes in total. From 14:43 Kiev time, 13:43 Berlin time, until 19:22 Kiev time, 21:45 Berlin time, June 12:57 Kiev time, 22:59 Berlin time, until 00:11 hours 12 minutes in total. 23:11 Berlin time, 11 minutes in total. From 4:38 Kiev time, 3:38 Berlin time, until 6:41 Kiev time, 5:41 Berlin time, 2 hours 3 minutes in total. From 9:27 Kiev time, 8:27 Berlin time, until 10:34 Kiev time, 9:34 Berlin time, 1 hour 6 minutes in total. From 22:40 Kiev time, 21:40 Berlin time, until 8:19 Kiev time, 7:19 Berlin time, 9 hours 39 minutes in total. From 11:58 Kiev time, 10:58 Berlin time, until 12:31 Kiev time, 11:31 Berlin time, 33 minutes from 9:33 Kiev time, 8:33 Berlin time, until 13:46 Kiev time, 12:46 Berlin time, 4 hours 12 minutes in total. From 17:07 Kiev time, 16:07 Berlin time, until 17:44 Kiev time, 16:44 Berlin time, 37 minutes in total. From 14:48 Kiev time, 13:48 Berlin time, until 19:08 Kiev time, 18:08 Berlin time, 4 hours 20 minutes in total. From 21:50 Kiev time, 20:50 Berlin time, until 00:54 Kiev time, 23:54 Berlin time,
June 13
until 00:53 Kiev time, 23:53 Berlin time, 2 hours 22 minutes in total. From 1:22 Kiev time, 00:22 Berlin time, until 6:45 Kiev time, 5:46 Berlin time, 5 hours 25 minutes in total. From 3:17 Kiev time, 2:17 Berlin time, until 3:34 Kiev time, 2:34 Berlin time, 17 minutes in total. From 7:27 Kiev time, 6:27 Berlin time, until 7:55 Kiev time, 6:55 Berlin time, 28 minutes in total. From 8:07 Kiev time, 7:07 Berlin time, until 8:20 Kiev time, 7:20 Berlin time, 13 minutes in total. From 9:04 Kiev time, 8:12 Berlin time, until 14:02 Kiev time, 13:02 Berlin time, 4 hours 58 minutes in total. 41 minutes in total. From 14:41 Kiev time, 13:41 Berlin time, until 18:29 Kiev time, 17:29 Berlin time, 3 hours 47 minutes in total. From 16:08 Kiev time, 15:08 Berlin time, until 16:28 Kiev time, 15:28 Berlin time, 20 minutes in total. From 17:10 Kiev time, 16:10 Berlin time, until 17:38 Kiev time, 16:38 Berlin time, 27 minutes in total. From 19:07 Kiev time, 18:07 Berlin time, until 2014 Kiev time, 1914 Berlin time, 1 hour 7 minutes in total.
June 14. One, two. Framing statement. Part 1. Framing. During the performance, a lot of choices I made were verbalized already, and I do not see reason to repeat them. Although there are several more big general choices I did not reveal, and in this part of my text I want to tell you about them. Performative project Shelters, which is going to be a series of performances focusing on different types of spaces for sheltering, such as air raid shelters, refugee shelters of different kinds, nuclear shelters, and so on, has an aim to emphasize the tendency of war to extend far beyond war zone, creating war-related spaces in relatively peaceful locations, such as Berlin, and making everyone participate in the ongoing military conflicts. Participate by witnessing the war in social media, being next to the factories which are producing weapons, encountering with ones who left war zones and now carry it in their experience, memories, and body memories, paying taxes which partly are going to the producing weapons and ammunition. For example, according to the information published by Reuters, from 7th of May, the annual military budget in Germany in 2025 can hike over 60 billion euro, which is 6,000,000,000,000,000 euro. Finally, we are participating in war even by just using iPhones or other smartphones which are in your pockets right now, which are mostly using technologies or invented by US military or for US military. For example, liquid crystal display, micro hard drive and microprocessor, multi-touch screen, Siri, GPS and mapping, tracking, and so on. I am telling all of it because we need to raise our awareness about the level of participation we have in ongoing military conflicts, wars, and genocides. We are not outside of it, and decisions we are making are important, especially if we decide to be indifferent. Time in the performance is mirroring my own perception of time while witnessing war in my country from exile. I perceive it as a viscous, sticky substance, slow and endless, pressing me down and sucking me in as a swamp. Every day you are waiting for it to finally end, but it does not, and does not, and does not, and does not, and finally becoming a normalized dark background of your everyday life. This is why I decided to use audio in the last part of the performance, because it shows multiple layers of attacks and working with layer of time more clear, starting from informative notifications and overlaying becoming just a background noise, which you await to end every minute and to which you get used to as well as to real air raid alarms. Real-time map and sound notifications I decided to leave untouched during all the performance. Today we didn't hear any sound notifications, fortunately, very happy about that. I decided to leave them untouched as something which is always in the background, affecting us and interrupting the timeline of the performance. At the same time, I had no desire to play with those layers, because for me they are too real to be played with. And behind every notification you heard or did not hear today are real lives of people in my country, for example. Part 2. Statement. In this part of the text, I want to share with you my emotions I felt during the last several months of work. Sometimes it can sound like I will blame someone, but I do not do, really. I just want to share my emotions because I promised to be as transparent as possible today. To be honest, I'm mad at myself, and I'm mad that I even touched the topic of the war in my work. But I cannot do anything else right now because this context is filling the major part of my life, and all of this driving me mad. I hate the fact that we are in general still have to make performances about war and that someone is coming to watch them, although I'm very thankful to all of you, really, for supporting me as an artist. But I hate the situation when war becomes a fucking theater, even if I'm trying to make it at least theatrical as possible. But I still cannot do it fully, from one hand, because of the format of me showing and you are watching, and from another hand, just because of me lacking experience in working with such complex and serious topics. I also don't like the system in which I'm a student in university and I'm showing my work about war in my country and my professors are coming and watching it and then going to the office and grading me for this work, although I know that they also don't like it, or maybe even hate it, but I just cannot ignore the absurdity of this situation. I'm desperate and done. I feel like I'm spending a lot of energy to create this, but it will never lead to the desirable outcome, and my work will never have the impact I am aiming for. I know that after this performance, people can applaud to me, shake my hand, say how they support me, and then just go home or go to the bar because it is Saturday, and tomorrow it will be another day and nothing will fucking change. I know that here today are people in exile who has war in their country going on, that here are volunteers who are trying to do their best to support refugee families, that here are just a lot of people who are not indifferent to the topic I'm talking about. So I say all I said before, not to blame anyone here, I mean it, but just share my honest desperation because I promised myself to be as transparent as possible with you tonight. Part 3. Announcements. On the screen behind me, you can see 2 QR codes. First is a fundraiser of Ahmed, the person who was giving me one of the interviews. He is co-founder of the Camp Breakers crew, first breakdance crew in Gaza, Palestine. And he and his team are running a food aid fundraiser. Situation in Gaza is horrifying now, so I ask you with all my heart to support them in their initiative. I don't know how they deal with it right now when Gaza is cut off with internet and what are they doing, but I think they anyway will find a way to put this money in a good use. Another QR, one on the right, will lead you to donate to Andriy, volunteer in Khersonska region of Ukraine. It is a region which is, if this mic is the center of Ukraine, would be more to the south, right next to the Kremlin. And he is volunteer there and he's evacuating people or dead people's body from red zones every day. So you can donate to him as well, because such a work needs a lot of resources. For example, working vehicle, medical equipment, munition, etc. Right now, I will finish the performance by reading air alarms which happened today, until the current time. I would like to ask you to not applaud us after. I do not like applause and I do not find them suitable to the action which is going on right now. After I finish, you can go to the space again, look at this stripe with air raid alarms times, and also there on the chairs are going to be several more texts from my diaries after 3 more interviews which I was taking, and if you want you can go through them as well. I'm putting them there as a part of my research process. Oh. Yes. So you can check them out as well. If you have any question or anything to tell me, you can find me in the yard after we finish, enjoying my after-show cigarette. Kievska region, no alerts today. Chernihivska region, today, 13:03 Berlin time, 13:03 Kiev time, 12:03 Berlin time, until 13:14 Kiev time, 12:14 Berlin time, 11 minutes in total. Today, 20:06 Kiev time, 19:06 Berlin time, until right now. Going on already for 1 hour, 29 minutes. Kharkivska region. Today, from 3:36 Kiev time, 2:36 Berlin time, until 4:07 Kiev time, 3:07 Berlin time, 13 minutes in total. Today, from 5:53 Kiev time, 4:53 Berlin time, until 5:56 Kiev time, 4:56 Berlin time, 2 minutes in total. Today, from 10:53 Kiev time, 9:53 Berlin time, until 12:43 Kiev time, 11:43 Berlin time, 1 hour 50 minutes in total. Donetsk region. Today, from 3:52 Kiev time, 2:52 Berlin time, until 6:56 Berlin time, 7:56 Kiev time, 4 hours 4 minutes in total. Today, from 10:17 Kiev time, 9:17 Berlin time, until 13:44 Kiev time, 12:44 Berlin time, 3 hours 27 minutes in total. Today, from 13:54 Kiev time, 12:54 Berlin time, until 19:09 Kiev time, 18:09 Berlin time, 5 hours 15 minutes in total. Today, from 19:48 Kiev time, 18:48 Berlin time, until now. going on already 1 hour 48 minutes in total. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it.